Back again with another video. All right, guys, should you become a truck driver in 2021? And the answer is very simple. It's really up to you, and it's really up to whether you are willing to make sacrifices or not. Because if you're one of those who, I've seen comments, you've been in the comments, you know, when I started my trucking career, you can go back videos and videos and videos. I started out at CR England, right? And I was making 14 cents a mile. As a matter of fact, before that, I was making $10 an hour while I was driving. So I had to be on the truck with my trainer. Oh, by the way, I didn't get paid while I was there. While I was in school training at CR England, no paycheck. But then after that, once I got on the truck with the trainer is when I got my first paycheck. I didn't get that until after a week or two later. And then once I got that on the truck with my trainer, then that's when I started making $10 an hour while I was driving. So when my shift was up and my trainer started driving, I'm just in the back along for the ride, not getting paid anything at all. Okay? Then once I got with a partner after my training was done, I was making 14 cents a mile. And everybody was on me for it. They'd be like, oh, 14 cents, you could have went to this company. You could have went to that company. Right? And then once I went solo, I was getting 26 a mile. 26 cents. 26 cents a mile. And then after that, now these, I'm just telling you the sacrifices that I made. I know I could have went to Prime, right? Because I didn't know this until later. Honestly, I went with the first trucking company that hired me. And that, you know, they put me on the bus real quick to get started real quick. And that's who I went with. And that was CR England, okay? So I didn't know nothing about Prime. I didn't do research and go to Swift and Knight and Prime and all these other different people. You know, I went with the first people just to go ahead and get started, you know, and that's what I did, okay? And then after that, you know, of course, you know, I started training people at 6 months. People were like, oh man, that's crazy. You a trainer at 6 months? Believe it or not, I was a good trainer at 6 months in the game. I don't know if a lot of people can do it. I know a lot of people have done it because at CR England, 6 months, you've been 6 months driving, you can be a trainer. So, and I did it. And I think I successfully, every 2 people, because I only had 2 students because as soon as my 9 months, I was out, right? Because I was there for 6 months. And then I started being a trainer, and then I only had 3 more months to go. I believe CR England is 12 months now, but when I was there, it was 9 months. So I only had 3 more months. So that gave me 2 students. I had, in the 3 months I had left there, I trained 2 people who then went on to be truck drivers, right? I don't know if they stayed with CR England. I don't know the details about that, but at 6 months I was a trainer. And that's when I saw my first $1,000 a week check as a trainer. Okay, so to answer you guys' question, should you start truck driving in 2021? I believe it's the same. Like, you know, it depends on what you want to do, and if you want to start making money or find an easy way or find a legitimate way to get an opportunity that can allow you to make other decisions that you want to make in your life. So, for example, do you see these chains? Okay, I have 2 of them. The first one is because I wanted to symbolize truck driving earned me my first 6 figures. My first $100,000 I made truck driving, okay? And then I have another one. So part of last year was part being leased on and part because I got my authority like in the middle. So you can put both of those together. So I'm pretty sure you can make $100,000 a year as a leased on driver as well. Lease your truck on to someone, you can make $100,000. Having your own authority, you most definitely should be making $100,000, right? So, you know, my first 2 years running, complete 2 years with my truck, I made 6 figures, okay? So I don't think you won't see any more chains. So, you know, that's the end of it. You know, I was able to, you know, get something to symbolize that truck and earn me my first 6 figures. And I did it my last couple years doing my own thing. So with that being said, you know, it's a lot of money out there in trucking. You know, it depends on how you want to do it, which leads me to my next part where people say, you know, you need to be long haul or short haul. You know, you have to be over the road to be trucking. That's completely not the case. After I got my own truck and was doing my other thing, I was always home, you know, and I never worked weekends. I worked no weekends at all. I think I maybe pulled a load on a weekend maybe twice the whole year last year. This year, I don't plan to work no weekends at all. I don't work on Saturdays and Sundays at all, and I'm always home. Like, I pick up a load, drop a load, and I'm home, and I still was able to do that. So no, you don't have to be an over-the-road truck driver to make six figures, you know. And honestly, I do it fairly easily because, like, partly too, that got a lot to do with the area you live in. Because if the area you live in have a lot of consistent freight, you know, you're gonna make money. Now, even when the rates was low, I had to work a little bit harder because, you know, I had to make up for, you know, the lower rates. So I may be getting home later in the day because I had to pull an extra load or something like that. But, you know, those are the type of sacrifices that you have to make, you know, if you want to be successful in the business. So, you know, it's not hard at all. And then you want to start truck driving with your goals in mind. So they can change, but if you start driving and say, you know what, I want to get with a good company, I want to get paid a decent salary, I want to get medical and dental benefits, and I'm just going to drive for a company, that's fine too. You know, you can work your way up and stay with a company. You'll probably start making 70 or 80,000. I know those boys at UPS and FedEx and all those, they make good money. They make $70,000-$80,000 a year, probably more. Old Dominion and all these places, people that I talked to. I talked to a guy that was driving trucks. He's a company driver, been one for years, making $85,000 a year. So you got tanker, you got, you know, fuel haulers, and you got all these different areas. That's why just getting your CDL opens up the doors to so many opportunities. Like, you can do whatever. You can flatbed, you know, you can drive, you know, you can do it. It's so much opportunities when it comes to truck driving. And then you don't have to stay a truck driver. Truck driving is an opportunity that allows you to say, you know what, I don't want to do this for a couple months, and you can run off and go do something else, and then you can come back if you want to. But that's just going to be solely up to you. But what I would say is get your CDLs and see if you like it, you know, see what you're going to do with it. And if you're going to get into trucking, have like some goals in mind, at least to how far you want to go with it. Do you want to purchase your own truck and then, you know, lease it onto a carrier, or you want to go to the authorities? Just have that in mind. See, when I started driving, my end goal was to have my own trucking business, my own authority, because I watched so many YouTube videos and I read about it so much online. My uncle was a truck driver, believe it or not, but he was he stayed with the company. He was there for years, and I watched, you know, him be with a company for years and make one mistake and change his whole career. So that told me that you want to be your own boss. Now, my uncle's great now. He's his own boss now, and he's doing his thing. But I watched him for the first 15, 20 years of his career, you know, making good money now. He made good money as a driver with his company, but, you know, they was able to take that away from him, like, whenever they wanted to. And they had no loyalty to a person that was with them for years. And I told myself that wasn't going to be me. That's why I went so soon from driving the truck with the trainer to my own authority within 2 years. No money. I didn't have, oh yeah, I had the funds in the bank to, you know, say make sure and this and that. No. If that's your goal, you're putting yourself in position from the beginning. From the time you're on your trainer truck, you're saving money, working on your credit, making sure your credit is getting good, you know, because it don't take long for your credit to reach a certain point. If you're doing the right things, paying your bills on time, you know, acquiring the right trade lines and stuff like that that you need on your credit to put yourself into position to be able to buy a truck. See, all of those type of things you need to be working towards right now. You need to be building on that right now. That way, once you get in the trucking business, you know, you're already setting yourself up. So go to, if you want to, I get it. In the beginning, you do want to get with a company that's going to pay you the most. You want to make the most out of the time that you're going to spend away from your family out on the road. You know, I stayed away for 9 months. I did come back a couple times on home time and stuff like that. But for the most part of the year, I was gone. I was on the West Coast. I live on the East Coast. I was on the West Coast, and I was up north. I was in the snow, driving up and down mountains and all of that. Now, my truck never seen snow. This truck never seen a mountain, like not one. My last truck did, because I used to go up through Tennessee and stuff like that, you know, north part of Georgia. But this truck, this is a down south truck. You know, we don't run up north and we don't run snow, right? And with that being said, I still make enough money to live the lifestyle that I want to live. I still work whenever I want to, which is 5 days a week, of course, because, you know, I just want to keep some consistency and some discipline about what I do. So I do work 5 days a week. But outside of that, I'm not running crazy. I'm not running hard. As you can see, I showed you guys in my last video, I only put 100,000 miles on this truck in 2 years. So I'm not running my truck hard. I'm not spending the night every night in the truck, you know, have my truck running all night, you know, so that minimizes the wear and tear on the truck. And I still make the same money that you would make long hauling, over the road driving. You know I get it. Sometimes you're gonna get a head knocker on the load, right? Somebody's gonna offer you, oh yeah, to go from Atlanta to California, they want to give you $7,000, right? I'm still not doing it because it's gonna take me 4 days to get over there. Then I gotta make it back home. So that wasn't working when I can make $800 to $1,000 a day short haul. So I spent less than the fuel. I'm back home, so that money wasn't worth it to me. But if you don't have any kids and you love the road just that much and you want to travel and see the country and you can make that extra money by spending that extra time out there on the road, then that's all good. Like, it doesn't matter. In this business, you can do whatever you want to be. It's so many different avenues of it. And then truck is just one part of it. You got brokering, okay? You got jobs and opportunities in trucking that you don't even need a CDL for. Like, you can start you a dispatching service. It's needs for that, because if somebody knew how I like to run and they were able to schedule and book my loads for me, people will pay for that. Just so many opportunities in trucking. So get your CDLs, see where it takes you. And if you go down the route to at least getting yourself a truck and leasing it on, most likely you're going to see your first $100,000 in trucking. I think it's the easiest business to make $100,000, like, within a couple years. I can be wrong. You know, some people get lucky and do other things and start making that type of money. But trucking, I do know, like, it's a step-by-step process. You can get a CDL, go through the process, get your experience, get you a truck, $100,000. It's just that simple. So I hope this video shines some light on everything. So at the end of the day, do I think truck driving in 2021 is worth it? Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, you got to start somewhere. The sacrifice is the start, though. That's the sacrifice. The sacrifice is starting, because you're going to be out there. You know, I get it. Some people got loopholes. They got a cousin that drive. He can put you on. But for most of us, we ain't had that. We have to go through the motion. You got to go to the truck driving school, or got to go to school. You got to get hired onto a company. They want to pay you little or nothing. You got to go through that to gain your experience. And then you put yourself in position to get your own truck and do your own thing and get your own authority and all of that. So the sacrifice is starting. So are you willing to make that sacrifice? I suggest you start as soon as possible. I suggest you make that sacrifice as soon as possible. So it's the beginning. It's the first month of 2021. So if you're thinking about doing it, don't waste too much time thinking. You might want to call up a company right now and see when can they get you to the next course, so you can go ahead and get started. But what I recommend, you go to your local DMV. At least go to your local DMV, take the test, get your permit, get your CDL permit, and then take that to the truck driving school with you. That way, when they test you, all you got to do is take the test, pass it. Now you're a CDL holder. So thank you guys as always for watching my videos. 2021, it's always a good time to start. Whenever to start trucking, when is a good time to start? As soon as possible, if you're thinking about doing it. And I'm gonna leave you with that. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, see you in the next video.